Welcome everyone to a Tyrannosaurus story. Our life begins in the Highlands. I quickly stumbled upon a little fight going on and thought maybe I could join. Though I quickly decided against it, seeing how big one of the little aloes actually was. I managed to find some early food, both outside and inside the sanctuary. I then lived near the lake where I ate the AI that the game provided for me. I needed some water, so I started heading to a spot at the lake with a lot of bushes, though I didn't know it was already occupied. That definitely gave me a bit of a scare, so I had to look for a different spot to drink. AI was plentiful, but this time I was gonna travel to a different spot for some water. I was starting to become a pretty big juvie, and that's when I found my first opponent. I had to be careful because even small trikes do a lot of damage. Managed to take it out, which means a ton of extra diets. But the fight wasn't over yet.
Help is on the way here!
Though this fight was over rather quickly. He was small enough where I could just pin him. With a full belly, it was time to do a lot of traveling for our prime route. Arriving at the South Plains, I was looking for a new meal, which I would find shortly. Though this wasn't gonna be easy. Even as a baby, a dibble is very chunky. managed to come out on top, but now there was a little aloe that decided he wanted a piece of the action. The other dibble took this opportunity to flee, and I took care of the little aloe. This meal was gonna keep me fed for a very long time. With an insane growth rate, it was time to finish my travels. I had just reached 50% and chose my second mutation when I spotted something behind me. Unfortunately for this dibble, I was big enough to half pin it, so it didn't stand much of a chance. Later on, still in North Lake, there was a little fight going on. Some raptors were hunting a juvie rex. I noticed and sprinted over.
Hey, let me get a minute. Hey, let me get one too.
Hey, let me hold him.
Hey, what the dog doing?
Though this fight would be short-lived because someone else was on their way. This Triceratops was looking for a fight, but I was nowhere near big enough to fight him. For now, this boar corpse will have to do instead of the raptors. Or maybe not. I left for a bit, and when I came back, I was able to eat the corpses from the raptors I killed. Though, there was already someone else eating, too. I heard him, but because of the foliage, I couldn't see him. The baby Dino grabbed an organ, and then he went on his way. Good luck, little Dino. I stayed in North Lake because I left to grow there when there was another fight. started slowly coming towards them in hopes of catching one. AI was not giving me a lot of food anymore, so this corpse, even though it's not big, will help. I was getting bigger and bigger and decided to travel once more. Though I couldn't really find any opponents. So back to North Lake we go. Though now, there was gonna be a big test of my capabilities. I spotted them, and being quite hungry, I sprinted right over. And I wasn't the only predator around. While the little trike was being harassed by Troodons, the big trike tried to keep me away. I didn't know it yet, but there were more on their way. After many crushes, I actually managed to break its leg, though I was looking very hurt. And the other trikes had arrived. Luckily for me, they weren't rule breakers and didn't get involved, because otherwise it would be overpacking, because they had 3 trikes. Figuring I must have been extremely hurt, which I was, Troodons decided to focus some of their attention on me as well. And with the Troodon venom bug still not fixed, it was extremely difficult to see anything. Once the venom wore off, I took that opportunity to try and continue to fight quickly before I was envenomed again. The smaller trike decided to really up the ante, and my blood pool was not looking good either. I decided to back off for just a second to get some stamina back and for the venom to wear off, and then I returned. But being almost dead, this was very risky. But I was not gonna give up now. Victory was mine, but the fight wasn't over. Trudons were still going. Eventually, I finally managed to take one down, and that caused the other one to back off. With 0 stamina and very low blood and health, I finally got some rest. I was finally able to enjoy the spoils of my victory, and that little trike was able to join the other trike herd. Apparently that was the big trike's first ever trike fight, so now I feel like I didn't do that well, but I was still kind of proud of myself. While patrolling around the area, I spotted another horned giant. I was not yet fully healed, but I didn't want to pass up this opportunity. Finally managing to break its leg, it was now about staying behind him, but I was looking very hurt. Each time it thrashed, I had a chance to get a free bite in, but this trike had a lot of health. lot of bites. Eventually, it finally went down. But once again, for this trike, apparently this was also their first time fighting as a trike. So now I feel like I didn't actually do that well. But they did say they were an experienced player, just not as a trike. And apparently they were part of the family from the 2 other trikes earlier. They were the mom of the smaller trike. These have gotta be the most insane diets I've ever had while growing a Rex. Patrolling the area again, I heard a fight going on and thought maybe I could sneak up and get involved. I managed to kill one of the Ceratos, but not before they killed their prey. Apparently it was a Rex. If I got there a little sooner, I would have been able to save his life, maybe. But I did eat one of the Ceratos that killed him. I walked around the north part of the map for a while, trying to find anything to hunt. And I reached adulthood, and we got Prime. Shortly after, I spotted 2 Stegos, and I thought maybe I'd be able to fight them at the water like I've done before, which you'll see in a future video. But this wasn't gonna go according to my plan. That bleed is going to kill me if I don't lose him quickly, but I got drawn back towards the other side when they started swimming. In hindsight, I probably should have just ran away because I was only a fresh adult, but I got a little too confident. And I couldn't find a spot where I could stand in the water, so that bleed killed me very quickly. But I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, I hope to see you in another one. And let me know what you thought in the comments down below. And thanks for watching.